My name is Antonio Gonzalez Walker. I'm an artist, educator, cultural gestor cultural, and eco activist. We're putting together this network for our communities, for our nation. We're starting from Rio Piedras, using La Quebrada Juan Mendez as the connector of 4 communities, eventually 5 and maybe more, but this is what we're working with right now. So welcome to Rio Piedra, Buen Consejo, el barrio de Buen Consejo. This is actually a great spot. It's called Vivero Cano. It's also a garden, not only a nursery anymore. It started to develop its own things. And it's a cultural center for this neighborhood called Buen Consejo, which is actually good advice. So we are at the very top of Rio Piedras, and Rio Piedras connects through a coastline, litoral, to the community of Canteras, which we'll see, and other communities and gardens along the way. So our project is to connect all these community gardens who need to also have water independence. That's why this is a Oasis network through La Quebrada Juan Mendez, so that we not only fortify and create sustainability for our communities, but also for the diversity, the biodiversity that inhabits this region. So this is the beginning of La Quebrada Juan Mendez, the Juan Mendez Creek. And actually it might be a little bit deeper that way, but it's been channeled, something we're trying to work with. But notice the abundance, the tropical abundance of this region, which is part of our idea and our theory of strengthening the whole network of La Quebrada, so that this whole coastline can benefit, as you hear, from the biodiversity that this natural habitat produces. Pues este es el barrio de Buen Consejo. This is Buen Consejo community, special community because it's part of the sort of hillside of Rio Piedras, the university town. And that's significant because this is where water was actually held in different tanks in the beginning of the last century, and it provided water all the way to San Juan through gravity. So that's been part of the history of this community. So I think it's really key that we are now in this new era where we want to take the knowledge of water management, water intelligence, and make it part of our memory, which is also that connection between the ancestral wisdom and the necessities of what we have today. So you see, here is actually the nursery, part of the nursery, and we don't have a water collection system. We don't have a water collection system for the whole urban garden. We have compost, we have, ways of storing seeds. We have all the other aspects of a beautiful, strong, resilient urban garden. Now we want to create the water hub, the Oasis, with the capacity to sensor and monitor waterfall through the year, to be able to capture some of that precipitation and help not only the garden, but to help the neighborhood. So here we are. Don Cano has decided to basically share in this project that side of the home so that we can have the collection of the water into tank area. There's already a cement base, so we have some structures already in place. But it's kind of a beautiful thing that we can, connect with the neighborhood and help the neighborhood as we help the garden And that's the idea. That's really the bottom line of this, is a symbiotic relationship between taking care of the land and taking care of the community through gardens, through the Oasis network that we're putting together. And so one of the things that this community and this beautiful garden teaches us is todos nacimos con alas, pero es nuestra responsabilidad aprender a volar. We all were born with wings, but it's our responsibility to learn how to fly. And that's precisely what we're trying to do with our network of water hubs or oases along the Quebrada Juan Méndez. Now we are closer to the Laguna San Jose, which we'll see, which is the end of La Quebrada, but then is a continuation of the waterway all the way to the ocean. So this is a really unique opportunity to connect multiple hubs in communities, in urban gardens that can serve and help the biodiversity, as we saw over there in Buen Consejo, as we can now find the way this is part of this ecosystem that we're going to discover now. So here we are. Actually, this is this little island here is Huachinanga. It's in itself an amazing bird sanctuary of its own. There's tremendous biodiversity in this area, which we also want to increase as we make it. This is basically where La Quebrada Juan Méndez ends. This is a point where it opens to La Laguna San Jose. As you can see too, right, there are issues. There's a lot of contamination. There is too much waste that comes into these shores, that comes into our waterways. And again, why we need to have a network of water management so that our sort of sensibility, our consciousness, our awareness of water, and how we get better working with it. So the water hub network, or la red de Oasis, de el monte al mar, from the mountain to the water front, is an opportunity and a necessity to bring together communities, gardens, ecosystems in a way that has not been done before. And we have all the elements, as you can see from the short video, to make that happen. So we need that other push to get there, to make this a real concrete possibility and reality for these communities participating, and to be able to later expand on it. We have a network of amazing people that are participating with us. La Península Cantera, la Red Comunitaria de Las Aguas, la Escuela de Buen Consejo. So we have a lot of other, allies that are joining us into this effort. I think this is a great moment for water consciousness, awareness, and our ability to take control of our future.